Hey everyone, it's Jamie and welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing another speed build. Today we are building in Windenburg. I feel like I don't have that many speed builds up on my channel of it. I think the only other really prominent one I have is probably the von Windenburg estate, which was massive, and that's like a 3-part video. I still love that build. This building though is definitely a little bit more friendlier on computers. If you didn't download the von Windenburg castle, you wouldn't know that it literally is one of those builds that is so big and so massive. It has so much in it that sometimes the game struggles to render it, and that's coming from from my computer, which is a gaming computer. So however, this one is a lot friendlier. However, this build, unlike some of my other builds, I really just used way too much content. It's all in-game content, no CC, but in most of my builds I tried to focus in the sense that maybe to really enjoy the home, or to have the structure of the home stay the same, you really only need to have 1 or 2 packs. Yeah, this one requires you to have a lot. I'm really sorry. The packs I would say you need the most to not have to go in and do extensive rework on the building itself is you would probably need Realm of Magic, base game, Realm of Magic, Get Together, maybe Strangerville, Romantic Garden stuff, and Get Famous. If you don't have those packs, it's not that you still can't download it, you have to do a lot more work. Usually in my videos when I say, oh, you need these packs, it's usually just referring to the outside structure. You probably still need to go in and redo the whole like refurnishing. However, yeah, in this one, if you don't have like those bare minimum packs, you're definitely gonna have to like replace some windows, some doors and stuff. So not to deter you from downloading if you don't have it, if you don't have those packs, but if you are like me and own all of the expansion and game packs because you're a psycho, and don't care about your money like me, then yeah, go ahead and download it if you want to. I love this build. It was so much fun to make, and I really like how it came out. I don't really build in Georgian styles. The last time I came pretty close is I did do a colonial style home, and the colonial style I was going for was like the 19th century neo-colonial, which was based off, which was inspired by the Georgians. So the Georgian, though, unlike the Victorian, is not super medieval in inspiration. It's a little bit more inspired by the Renaissance with its kind of balance and its kind of lots of columns. Yeah, it's just, as someone who studied ancient Rome for like most of my high school and then a little bit into my college years, yeah, not usually my favorite subject anymore. Just, you just kind of like, yeah, I get it. However, this is a style I've kind of wanted to build in for a while, and if you see there, I had an idea. I think I got the idea from Freezer Bunny. I think that's who I saw do it, where you take that arch from Get Famous and kind of use it as a architectural element rather than just like a decal for your movies. And what really inspired me though is when I was in New York the other weekend, I was just looking at all the beautiful 19th century buildings and just like looking at all the details and all the embellishments. I was like, that's what I need in my builds. I'd been whining for so long because I was like, oh, we just don't have enough. And I was like, you know what? You just gotta be creative, and that's definitely what I kind of went in, and I was just really looking at different items that I probably didn't normally use. I'm like, okay, how can I use these to make this building look more more over the top, because that's what I just really wanted. I really, really love how it came out, and I do apologize to anyone who wants to download it and can't, because I went too crazy with this, with the content. I do promise, I do, coming up soon, have a few base game builds coming out. Essentially, I realized that all of my builds use so much content, and my excuse for it was so long was, well, I'm really building for myself. I can build whatever I want. But, you know, if I want people to download and be able to enjoy them, I definitely need to make them a little bit more accessible. So, for anyone who's been following me and gets a little frustrated that I use so much content, don't worry. I do got some base game stuff coming out soon, hopefully. I definitely also want to do some builds in some of the more specific worlds like Windenburg, where it's just base game and get together. I might try to do also a starter home for Realm of Magic, using just Realm of Magic in base game. I also think I want to do a starter home for Strangerville. Essentially what it is, I really just need to learn to control myself, because I'm really out here like, okay, let's get all the packs. And the thing is, I also don't even fully believe that you need more than just the base game to build a good home. It's just that I'm so dramatic. And the things I want and how I want my homes to look, I'm like, but there's this great item in this pack that I could use, and I really just gotta learn to control myself. I'm definitely a little sad I didn't wait to do this until after our next expansion pack came out, because there's going to be an update coming out, I think, either with or right before Discovery University, that allows you to have certain columns reach certain heights now, so that they can be like a 2-story column or a 3-story. I believe some of them can go up to 4, some of them can't. Because yeah, I think this build probably definitely would have done better with that columning. In Gothic architecture, it's called fluting. I'm not sure if it's called that in other architectural styles. Someone let me know who wasn't like me and just studied Gothic. It's so funny, when I was in college, I was so, like, most people in their undergrad for art history, they do a little bit of everything, a little bit of Renaissance, a little bit of medieval, a little bit of this and that, and I was so, like, stubborn. I was like, no, I just want to do Gothic and medieval, and I also just want to learn about the ancient Maya. Like, most of my art history classes were in those realms, or they were Baroque. Those are like the 3 things I was like, this is what I love. I did expand out a little, and I did take in like an art since 1984, so it's all like modernist and postmodern and contemporary, as well as I did feminism and art history, which really expanded from a lot of different styles and decades and centuries. And then I also did a comic books art history class. And then my senior year, I took for one of my art history seminars, I did one on archaeology, which was just kind of where we learned about the history of archaeology and kind of talked about like the ethics of it all. So I definitely branched out a little bit, but for the most, like, if it was really up to me, I would have just done Mesoamerican, specifically the Maya, Gothic, and Baroque. And like, no wonder why all my builds are so dramatic, because that's like all I love. So yeah, sorry to go on that little tangent, but I do love this build, and there's so much to do in this build. Not to like toot my own horn or anything, but I really went out of my way to try to make this a home where your Sims can live and like can learn out skills and have activities and fun. There's plenty. There's like a gardening little greenhouse, which I didn't put any gardening. I don't know what you call them. The like gardening plots, which you could definitely put some down around the greenhouse if you want. I didn't, just for the sake of aesthetics, but I say definitely go ahead with it. But around the greenhouse there's also like a flower arranging table, a bonsai tree. I put a cauldron out there in case you like, I don't know, want to have a witchy sim in the family. I also added like a bunch of like there's a don't wake the llama table, there's a foosball table, and some other like game, like a card game table. There's also a lot of instruments around the house. There's also a bar in the living room. There's bees. There's a pool. There's like, essentially what is, I try to take all the interesting gameplay items I could find and think of that I thought would also like kind of fit in with this home. Like I didn't put a voodoo doll down, but you definitely could if you want. Because I was trying to think of whoever lives here, you know, they don't have to leave the house if they ever want. They could literally just stay here forever. Because there's just like so much to do. On top of that, there's these beautiful gardens I built surrounding the whole place, so your Sims can definitely, like, if you want to do some nice engagement photos. There's also a wedding arch. I don't know, like I said, I really, when in building this, I really just wanted it to be super usable in the sense that your Sims have a lot to do here. Your Sims also have just like a lot of skill building, as well as like just like a lot of fun gameplay items. I was thinking about a lot of these gameplay items anyways, because I want to do a video in which I highlight a lot of like a lot of the really cool gameplay items we do have in the game. Because while The Sims 4, I do agree, does need more gameplay, there's some really great gameplay items already that I don't think gets enough credit, because people are like so bent on that The Sims 4 doesn't have any gameplay, that I definitely want to highlight those. So I was definitely thinking about them when I was getting ready for this video, and I was like, why don't I use some of them? It helped me identify them and play with them. Like one of the items that's going to be on that list that I used in this build was there's a fountain from Romantic Garden stuff, and I noticed that there's just interactions that you can do that you can't do with most or any of the other fountains, from adding bubbles, taking a nap on the side of it. It's like, it's a great thing, and it's like just little things. Also Romantic Garden has the well, which I did not add to this build, that also has great gameplay. So essentially just some things I want to highlight in a future video, but we're focusing on this video right now. We're getting to the floor plan. This floor plan's a little weird, but this house also, like, I'm so used to building Victorians that when I was looking at Georgians, I was like, okay, what do I do? On top of that, also a lot of Georgians now have been updated. So sometimes they don't have their original walling, or some of them been knocked down or replaced. So mind you that this house is very white, a lot of white walls. I like it. I feel like it looks very regal. I know there's a royalty mod out there. I haven't played with it yet, but you could definitely do a royal family here, whether they be the dukes or something, because I know some members of the royal family, they do live in a nice Georgian surrounded by gardens. Forgetting the name of that, Heart something Manor, something like that, but it's massive. I've seen images. I was kind of looking at that a little bit for inspiration, while also really trying to look at some others and get my own inspirations and my own ideas. The gardens definitely came up out of my own mind. I just, oh I love how the gardens came out. I just want to bring a sim there and have them get proposed to and take lots of screenshots. Like, it's just so pretty. It's like a great place for any romantic stuff. I was definitely trying to make a very beautiful and lush romantic space. This home, as of right now, also has 5 bedrooms and 5 bathrooms. Some of the bathrooms are connected to some of the bedrooms. There's definitely like 2 bedrooms that could really work well as master suites. They don't have to be, though. You could, I guess, use any of them, but the 2 I had in mind was, there's one on the 2nd floor. That one's a little bit smaller. The one up on the last floor is probably the biggest room, and also has its own bathroom, and it has like a mini living room. And it has the balcony. So it's definitely, I would say that one's probably your best bet if you want to have like a really nice master bedroom. The only problem with it is on the top floor, so that might be annoying. The one on the 2nd floor is just like a little smaller. I don't know, I had a lot of fun with this. If you download it, hopefully you have all the packs. If not, hopefully it isn't too annoying to replace everything. As well as, I just hope you have a lot of fun with it. I really, when going in, I was like, okay, we need lots of activities, lots of skill building. There's a science room. Yeah, I built a science room for some reason. I just thought that'd be really fun. I also built a home gym on the top floor, which isn't that great. Which also brings me to the last point. If you do download this and want more room and more space, feel free. I won't be offended if you get rid of, I don't know, there's a photo studio upstairs, so you can get rid of that. There's the gym you can get rid of. There's a library and a study. I guess either of those could become another bedroom. For me, I just kind of felt like 5 bedrooms was enough. However, I can understand if you want to do like a 6 or 8 person household. Yeah, I can understand that you might want to switch some of those out. As well as of right now, all the bedrooms are made for adults, young adults, and teens, because they're all kind of like the adult double beds. However, you can also swap that up and, make maybe some twin size mattresses. I just couldn't imagine people who lived in this home would have anyone sleeping on a twin size mattress, because it is so big, ridiculous, and luscious, this house. So I don't know. So I'm also really excited to show you the screenshots. The screenshots do annoy me a little, just because the season that my world is in right now is fall, and I turned off my mod, so I couldn't switch the season, and I was like, I don't want to close out and come back in. So I apologize for that, but here comes the screenshots. I'll see you in the next video.